So this is the vlog for April 16th. Okay. Um, the weather today has just been, it's been gray and rainy. It started raining again as I drove home. Um, I was going to meet some friends after work, actually. A guy who I used to work with is in town. He lives on the East Coast now. I should have left my overshirt on. And he was just in town for a couple of days, so he decided to chat us up and try and get us to go to get drinks. We went and got drinks, and then he found out that his flight was leaving way earlier than he thought it was. And in fact, it's probably leaving in a couple of hours, so he decided not to get drunk because he's got to pack because he didn't realize how early his flight was. So I went down and I had drinks with a couple other people from work, and I had another one of the Prioris Quad. I think it's just called Quadruple. It's the name of the beer, which is the name, and it describes what kind of beer it is. That's cool. I'm a little stuffed up right now, if you can't tell, but I'll get to that in a minute. The weather. It didn't rain. It didn't rain all day, but it was sort of cloudy and gross all day. The sun's been setting a lot later. I think sun up tomorrow is around 6:15, and sundown's going to be right at 8 o'clock, basically. Right. Basically 20 minutes before now. It's 8:23 right now. I always end these with "tomorrow will be better," and it is tomorrow, because nothing bad ever happens tomorrow. When it happens, it's already today, and that's why tomorrow is always better. Tomorrow is it's a promise and a hope. It's the undiscovered country. And when Shakespeare talked about the undiscovered country, I think he used it as a metaphor for the afterlife, but in a hopeful sort of tone. But I have to believe that tomorrow will be better, because sometimes that's all that I can do to get through the day. Because when Adam died, I just kept thinking, what if I could have done something different for him? When Jai died, it was just a shock, because he knew that he wasn't going to live forever, and he didn't care. He wanted to dance. He was a fun guy, and I spoke at his funeral, even though I was terrified to have his casket open behind me. I said something. I don't remember. You know, I have to say, because when I started thinking about all the things that could happen in a year, doing a vlog like this, midlife crisis, the first week I just thought, this will be easy. I'll come in and say something a little bit every day. Maybe something comes of it. Maybe it doesn't. It's enough for me to have done something where I'm leaving a record of what I've been doing this year. It's enough for me to communicate, if it's just with myself. And as bad as today is proving to be, could have been worse. And the funniest thing is that I know that if this stuff went public, if someone said, "Hey, this guy Eric Spornitz, look at what he's doing," it's a weird little project, but maybe the whole internet turns its gaze to me for a couple of minutes, And maybe somebody starts flipping through. Maybe they see this video of me losing my shit, crying over what this is. And they go, look at this guy. Wham, 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 boo-hoo. I remember crying when I was a kid. I remember crying in middle school over his little shit. Because I just learned early that crying was sometimes what you did, even if you didn't want to. The tears would come. People think that's weak. Some people say it's the sign of a man who really understands what's happening and sees the world and doesn't care. But I don't have a choice. It just comes. It just happens. I'm putting on a show. I'm recording paid for people who don't even watch this shit. Look at how red I am. Look at my face. I'm stuffed up. Got snot in every sinus cavity in my head. My cat Leo has cancer. And he's not going to live very long. That's it. That's why I'm crying. Because he's been with me for 12 years. He just turned 12 this year. Just this month. And he's going to be gone soon. And I just have to hope that tomorrow will be better.